Hi everyone, welcome back to the studio. I'm Rita Lynne. Have you ever felt stuck or uninspired or just downright frustrated when you create? You're not alone. Creative blocks, they happen to everyone, and they can be quite a challenge. But today, we're going to tackle them head on. By the time we're done with this video, you will have a better understanding of why creative blocks happen. You'll also have practical tools that you can use to overcome them. And you've got some fun exercises that I'm going to tell you about that can reignite your imagination and get you inspired again to get back into your craft. I remember my first attempt wanting to make three-dimensional flowers that I could manipulate, but that were also large, like 16 by 20. I tried a lot of different ways and I just couldn't figure it out, and I had some failures, but each time that I tried something new, I knew I was getting closer and closer to what I wanted. And here's the example I'm talking about. I finally figured out that if I were to create a channel right here and put a piece of floral wire right there, that would allow me to manipulate all of these different petals any way that I wanted to. In fact, I went ahead once I got that together and I realized I could do the same thing on the outside, and I could not only manipulate it this way, but I could manipulate it that way. It made it so that the leaves became real. And you can also see that I did the same thing for the leaves down here. That was finally breaking through. And I can't tell you the number of times I told myself, you don't know how to do this, that doesn't look right. But I finally did. And not only that, here are some of the others that I have created and had great success with as far as creating patterns. People would come into our booth at the International Quilt Festival in Houston and just stop. That's how dynamic these were. And you could see there was a transition in their mind as to how they were going to use now this new creative art that we had. Being that it was large, 16 by 20, it became a piece of wall art that was very, very dynamic. This is just one idea of what happened and how I handled it. But listen, I'm here to tell you that this is temporary. Creative blocks are normal. They come with the process of learning something new, or encouraging you to shift to a new idea or to develop a new way or a new technique to handle something. But most importantly, they're normal, they're also temporary. And that's why we're going to tackle all of them today. These tips will help you move past frustration and get back to enjoying your art. So grab a cup of tea and let's get started. What are creative blocks? Well, they're actually a natural part of the creative process. They're periods when inspiration and motivation seem elusive. And think about this. Even the most accomplished artists, quilters, and creators all face creative blocks. The difference isn't that they never get stuck, it's that they have learned how to work through it. Remember, you're in great company. Think of it as the ebb and the flow of a tide. Creativity isn't always a constant stream. Sometimes we need those pauses to recharge and to reflect and to make new space for the great new ideas to emerge. We can also look at blocks as a growth opportunity. A creative block is often a sign that you are pushing yourself to grow, even if it is uncomfortable. It's your brain's way of telling you it needs time to process. You need time to experiment or to try something new. And here's the key. It's a transition to a next phase. Here are 5 major blocks and ways to overcome them. Number 1, self-doubt. Is this good enough? Start by visiting your original goals and objectives and ask yourself, did I use the best resources for this artwork? And did my work meet my expectations? This practice ensures that you stay on track and your art fulfills your intended purpose. Trust your instincts and the accumulated experiences you have to identify and refine any elements that seem off. Number 2, burnout. Pushing yourself too hard to finish a quilt before a deadline can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, meeting deadlines can provide a sense of accomplishments. However, extending yourself can lead to burnout, stress, and even diminish the joy of quilting. Balance your enthusiasm with practical time management by working with manageable tasks. Remember, quilting is not just about the end project, but also about the creative journey. Number 3, perfectionism. It's the feeling that nothing you make will be good enough, so you avoid starting or finishing a project altogether.
To overcome this, it's essential to shift the focus from perfection to progress. Embrace the idea that the initial attempts don't have to be perfect, they just need to be a starting point. Allow room to make mistakes and grow. Celebrate the small victories to build momentum. Progress is more valuable than perfection, and often the very act of creation itself is where true growth and learning occur. Number four, difficulty making decisions. This is a common hurdle, particularly when faced with a multitude of choices, when each seems to be equally appealing. Every choice can feel overwhelming, leading to inaction, which can lead to a state of analysis paralysis. To combat this overwhelming feeling, look in small, more manageable steps. Define and work with what is most important in each step, not the whole project. Even the perceived wrong choice can lead to personal growth. Trust your instincts. Allow yourself the freedom to experiment and explore one step at a time. Number five, loss of excitement. Projects that once energized you now feel dull or burdensome. You start something and quickly lose interest, leaving it unfinished. This is often linked to burnout, lack of motivation, or misassignment with your goals. To reignite your passion, reassess your objectives. Ensure that they align with your current priorities. To maintain momentum, break tasks up into small steps. Remember, it's okay to pivot when necessary and to explore different creative paths that truly resonate with you.
Remember, creative blocks are a part of being an artist. Every creative person experiences these from time to time. The important thing is to stay curious and keep trying new things. Think of your creativity as a well. There may be times when it seems as if it's running dry, but stay inspired. Take a break. Try something new. These are the things that will refill your imagination and get you back into the creative process. I'd love to hear from you. What have been your ideas, and what do you do to break through some of the blocks, some of the stalls that we all experience from time to time? Share your comments with us so that we can all learn together.